Good afternoon. I am Julie Seelen, and I'm the Chief of Philanthropy at Sempervirens Fund. I've been in conservation fundraising for over 20 years. And although I have a background in an engineering degree, actually architecture and building construction, so I really enjoyed visiting Chicago over the last few days. It's a beautiful city. It was easy for me to switch to a non-engineering job and fundraise for conservation. It actually pays me to go hiking. I also love getting to know people and find out what they're passionate about and help them set and reach their philanthropic goals. At Sempervirens Fund, I lead a very small but mighty, passionate, and very hardworking team. And fundraising is hard work. So we always strive to work smart and using technologies like AI. Today, I'll tell you a little bit about our organization, why we chose to set up an AI agent, a chatbot, on our website, and how we implemented it. Sequoia sempervirens means coast redwoods. So who here has seen a redwood? Oh, quite a few folks. Do you remember the first time you saw a redwood? I do remember it. I grew up in the Netherlands, which is flat as a pancake. And although we have trees, nothing near as big as redwood tree. Redwoods are the tallest trees on Earth, and they can sequester more carbon than any other being. Coast redwoods live along the coast from Monterey Bay in California all the way up to Washington State. And we protect the forest at the southern end of the range, from Monterey Bay up to about South San Francisco, between Silicon Valley and the Pacific Ocean. It's an area called the Santa Cruz Mountains. And by the way, it's right next door to Sunnyvale. Sempervirens Fund is California's first land trust, established on the banks of Sempervirens Creek in 1900, and what soon became California's oldest state park, Big Basin Redwood State Park. So since 1900, we have protected more than 36,000 acres of redwood forest. We helped to create not just Big Basin State Park, but also Butano and Castle Rock State Parks. We have planted 43,000 trees and built and maintained over 60 miles of hiking trails, including the 31-mile Skyline to the Sea Trail. I hope there's a lot of hikers here, and if you are working for eGain in Sunnyvale, I hope you do get out and enjoy those redwoods. Now, despite these extraordinary efforts to protect these redwoods over the last century, development pressures, fragmented wilderness, and accelerating climate crisis are putting immense pressure on our existing redwood forest. Today, over 95% of old-growth redwoods in the Santa Cruz Mountains are gone. The 5% that remains, only half is permanently protected. So we have to work really hard to protect the last little bit of what is left. And we do that by buying land from willing sellers, or sometimes we purchase conservation easements. That means we purchase the development and the timber rights so that the trees can no longer be cut down. We still manage about 12,000 acres. The other acreage has now been turned into parks, so you can go and enjoy those. But the redwood forest that we still manage, we care for, and we restore the natural habitat, so that the redwoods and the wildlife that call it home can thrive there in the face of a changing climate. To be successful doing that, protecting these redwoods, I'll get to AI, by the way, don't worry. To be successful protecting these redwoods, we collaborate with many stakeholders. Obviously, our donors who are supporting our work are key, but also partners that work alongside us in conservation, park entities that manage the forest long-term, neighbors, landowners, and recreators, anybody who enjoys the redwoods. We greatly value partnership and collaboration because together we can be far more successful than we can be on our own. I've heard a couple of speakers here in Lake Country. They are huge. We're a nonprofit, we're a business. We're only 25 staff, so we're tiny compared to Country. And yet, some of the same things that they were doing, I see we have been doing similarly. But a nonprofit is a business with some unique challenges as well. One of them is that the tendency, we try to put all of our resources into our mission delivery, which means we have to work really hard as fundraisers and also be very smart. Donors, as I mentioned, are the key. They are the fuel for a nonprofit engine. And when a donor wants to make a gift, we need to be ready. Timely, fast, with a smile. We put customer service first and respond to that donor with warmth and empathy. And we want to make it as easy as possible for these donors to give, especially potential donors who are just coming on our website. We want them to get their answers quickly, get all the information they need to take action, because every gift matters to the Redwoods. And when a donor can find that answer, they might just leave our site and not come back and not make that gift, sometimes called an abandoned cart. So while our strength is in connecting with people about our shared passion for the Redwoods, an AI agent can really help and extend our team. And although it might seem a little counterintuitive, if we're so human-focused, why are we using a chatbot on our website? Different people connect with us in different ways. And we want it to be inclusive and create pathways for anyone to connect with us, and especially to do so at any time. So having a chatbot on our website means that donors can ask questions any time of day, directly on the site, and they don't have to call us or email us and wait for a reply. That really helps those donors, but it also helps us as staff because it means less staff time answering repeated questions. And of course, a human is still only a click away. It was very important to us to create an interaction that provides donors with all the information they need, but one that is also in line with our values and our tone. We wanted it to be inviting, curious, respectful, and fact-based. And if it didn't have the answer, if the chatbot couldn't answer the question that was asked, we wanted the chatbot to actually encourage the donor to call us or email us. So we always provided contact information. A human is still only a click away. That might be a little bit where our nonprofit is different from a for-profit. Some of the chatbots I've seen, it's very hard to find contact information. So to provide that instant service with the excellence of as if our human staff replied, we spent significant time up front. And I think you hear that from many here in the room, whether it's a small business or a large one, the more time you invest in setting up that comprehensive documentation for your agent to get the information, the better the experience later on. We implemented the eGain chatbot on our Sempervirens Fund website, starting with just support pages, just answering the questions for those donors first. We grouped supporter questions into broad categories like, how do I make a gift? Can I join your mailing list? Can I get off your mailing list? And provided some block-style answers. So this allowed us to launch quickly and ensure our supporters receive timely answers to most common inquiries and saving some staff time. So we called our chatbot Redwood. It has been available to answer questions on our support pages since June of this year. So we don't have a lot of runway yet, so I can't tell you a whole lot yet about how it's working, whether we see fewer email questions and more donations on our website. Maybe at the end of the year, with the end of the year giving season, I'll have more information about that in the future. We're always, of course, paying attention to our tone of the chatbot. This is an example of one of the questions that our chatbot was asked about a peer organization. And the answer that the chatbot provided started just like our staff would have. Knowledge is the secret sauce of an effective AI agent. I think that also has been a theme that has come up again and again. The more we train the agent, the better it performs. So after some initial use, we realized that the block answers worked and they gave the information, but it felt static and transactional, and we wanted a more warmer conversational tone. At the same time, we also decided to add cryptocurrency as a way for donors to give. So we had to add that knowledge base about cryptocurrency into the knowledge to train the agent. So to do that, we used AI tools to run through a wide range of possible supporter scenarios. This helped surface more variations of questions. So rather than take me off your mailing list, if somebody told the chatbot they hated paper, the chatbot now also knew what to say. We used AI to also generate those answers in copy. And while we found that the AI was useful for brainstorming, it occasionally hallucinated. It gave some resources and links that weren't actually active. So we had to make sure to verify each answer before going live. By combining the AI-assisted scenario building with careful human editing, we shifted from those block answers to a way more conversational first chatbot. It recognizes and responds appropriately. It uses a thank you tone and personal language that feels very donor-centric. It offers step-by-step guides, links to help the customer take that action, and always gives staff contact as a backup. This approach has helped the chatbot feel much more like an extension of our current staff while reducing the time it takes for the staff to respond to each individual inquiry. Why did we choose eGain? Well, as I mentioned before, we value personal support and really that human interaction. And eGain gives us that person-to-person support. They have been great to work with. They have an easy AI agent setup, a clean interface, lots of customization, which we also really value. And we have access to all the chats that were initiated so we can learn and improve the agent. Oh, and by the way, the first 6 months for a nonprofit are free. Pretty nice benefit. So what's next for AI Agent Redwood? Well, as I mentioned, we just did it on the support pages of our website, and we want to expand it across our website so all stakeholders, not just donors, can find information about Sempervirens and any other questions that they have about our organization. We're also continuing to train the AI agent with new questions that donors may ask on the site. And while we like to be innovative and always first to try and implement new things, we also like to share those with other nonprofits to help them reach their goals to do their important work. Because together we can make this world a better place. So to sum it all up, Sempervirens invested significant time up front to create all the resource materials and train the AI agent. It is now able to answer those questions and provide correct information in a very friendly and donor-centric way at any time of day or night. So that saves our staff time. I really encourage you all to visit our website, sempervirens.org, and engage with our chatbot on the support pages. And while you're there, I am confident it will help you make your gift to support the Redwoods.